To have passion in life is everything.
What's your Everest?
Oh,
Is it
yeah.
that 200-inch buck?
They just look so impressive when they're wide.
Especially running away.
Welcome to this week's episode of Eastmans Elevated.
It's like a think tank for outdoor activity.
Sounds exactly like my hunting. Just always thinking about it, always trying to evolve it and make it better.
Here's your host, Brian Barney.
Hey, what's happening, guys? I got a brand new podcast for you. Back in the States, back here taking care of things just with renewed vigor. So nice to get away. God, it just resets your brain. But yeah, back at it here. Got some quality recordings, including this one coming up today that I really enjoyed. So this is Logan Peasley. Logan lives in BC. He operates an outfitting business, Peasley Hunts. Does a bunch of different hunts, and we talk about it in the podcast, some of the different stuff he does. But yeah, just a great engaging conversation with a like-minded hunter. So we talk about it a little bit in the podcast, but how we got hooked up with Logan is he was Ike and Guy's guide on their hunt up in the Northwest Territories for caribou and for sheep. And he was just a ride up there and source of entertainment for all those guys up there. They really enjoyed hanging out with him. So that's how I got connected with them, and now we have him on the podcast. So I think you guys will enjoy it. It's just a great back and forth. Sponsor for today's show is Sig Sauer Optics. So impressed with Sig Sauer and their optics that they're coming out with. So I really like their binoculars. Their spotting scope, they're coming out with a new spotting scope. So I know I've been pushing it. Their one that they did have has been discontinued, but they're going to come out with a new one. But where they really have the edge on the market is their rangefinders. Their rangefinders, I think they're the best out there. They just got good optics. They'll shoot through grass, powerful laser, consistent readings. They'll do incline and decline and figure it out for you. And then the things they can do with a rifle in their app is just amazing. But great for bow and arrow too. Their new product that I have fallen in love with. So their range-finding binoculars just showed up at my house here right as I got back. So I've been using them bear hunting. These things are off the hook. Their optics their clarity is so good in them. Color fidelity. They're just a great pair of optics just to look through. And then to have the rangefinders in them. I've never used a pair of range-finding binoculars, but I'm super excited to just have like one unit that'll do it all. I think you can be more precise on your ranging because you've got that 10 power binocular. It seems to be right on the mark where they have the mark of those things. But I think these things are going to catch fire in the industry. This is a great pair of binoculars. They do incline and decline, great ranges, powerful laser. I think I could range my sister's house, which is like 2,300 yards away, which is a little bit further than I'll shoot my bow, but it's just that powerful laser, even for a bow hunter, comes in handy because then you're able to get readings through grass and through brush and things, and it receives it and gets it back. So just great, those range-finding binoculars. So make sure to check those out if you're in the market for a new pair. And thanks to Sig Sauer for sponsoring the podcast. Over there at Eastmans, we've been busy. Gosh, I'm waiting for this new issue to show up on my doorstep. Just got some great articles in it. Sean Morgan's buck is on there on the cover. Gonna try to get Sean here on the podcast coming up. And another story, a bunch of really good stories in there. In fact, I'm going to do a podcast with a guy that has a story in there tonight and get that recorded. I've got an article in there I'm just super proud about. Like it's just it's kind of like the outside the box, the intangibles of what makes a successful hunter. And through the podcast, I just get a chance to talk to all these guys that have next level success and try to kind of compile that information and put down on paper what is really important. To have that consistent success, especially on public land, because it's one of the toughest things out there. It's one of the toughest things I've found, and it takes constant work and constant thinking about it, dedication, discipline, and so I put that all in an article. I'm really proud how it came out. So make sure to check that out. If you don't have a subscription to Eastmans, it's such a great resource for us Western hunters. Like I really enjoy the magazines. I enjoy every month when they show up. But the subscriber articles are so good. They get me fired up and put me in that place. Like I read one and then it's like I want to go do that hunt or hunt that spot, or I look at the country and the terrain and the photos. And so I've always really enjoyed that. I love the staff articles. We pour our heart and soul into these articles, and we don't hold back any information. I try to share, absolutely everything that helps me be successful. And then the MRS section is just awesome. The MRS just compiles all the information from all these different states, so you can make an educated decision about a unit that you want to hunt, or a state you want to hunt, a species. It's just such a great resource. I use it all the time. So you can still get a subscription with that deal, and I sure appreciate you guys that have got a subscription on this deal where you text. See, what do you text? You text Elevated 319 to 22828. Again, text Elevated 319 to 22828. And we've had a bunch of guys that have picked up subscriptions through that deal. It's $29.99, gets you both magazines, and then gets you the free MRS book with all the 2018 information in it. So just such a great resource for hunters. Make sure to check that out. I heard that my Nevada hunt came out on the Outdoor Channel. My DVR is ridiculous, so my DVR is not recording Eastmans anymore, so I haven't even seen the episode, but I'm really excited to see it. So I'm going to send my Video Gala a message today and see if I can get a link or view it somehow. But I heard that is out on the Outdoor Channel, so hopefully some of you guys saw it, and hopefully you guys like it. I'm really proud at that hunt and how it all came together. So I can't wait to see how all the footage is compiled. So make sure to be on the lookout for that. And let's get this thing rolling. So yeah, just an authentic conversation between me and Logan Peasley, Eastmans Elevated. Here we go.
Yeah, we're doing a little drywalling today. Plus, we were pouring concrete, and then at the last minute, we came in and did this. So there we go, man.
Oh, thanks for taking a break. Yeah, drywall. Well, that means you're getting close. You're starting to find the other side of things.
I wish, buddy. That was for my father-in-law to get his for his shop. My house, we just poured concrete for the footings today.
Oh, okay, just getting started then.
Yeah, we're just getting rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I went and bought a skid steer to do the project, right? Like just to do all the backfilling and, a little 5 acres, you need one, right? Almost.
Yes.
So I've been busy with putting that little machine to work, trying to backfill all these ditches, and you know the drill.
I do, but well, good for you. You got the foundation in and the plans done and everything approved, so you're on your way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, we're rolling. We got the construction company there, but it's good. I'm almost not stress totally free on it, but we're de-stressing because now it's in their hands. I don't go out. I had to do all the prep work, right?
Okay.
And provide machinery and do all that. So now it's more hands-on from them, and I can disappear.
Good. Pressure's off.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing another one here. I'm a contractor by trade, and so yeah, that's the only way you get ahead is just by building these things and selling them, and kind of life of a gypsy, So I can do it like every 2 years, but that ends up being about every 4 years by the time I forget all the pain and misery that came from the last one.
Oh, I know it, right? That's the truth. Like I built my first house, and it took me probably 2 to 3 years to totally complete it, right? And we're doing it again.
It's kind of like hunting, right? Where you forget all the bad times and you just remember the good times.
I know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think we're wired, our DNA, we're wired that way to kind of forget the bad, or hell, we'd never go anywhere.
I know it.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad. Meanwhile, your hair turned gray and you just had 7 minor heart attacks.
It's so true. Well, we'll get right into it and get a recording started. Yeah, psyched you're going to be on. Yeah, I heard about you from Guy and Ike. So you were their guide on that hunt up in the Northwest Territories, is that right?
Yeah, up at Canal Outfitters, you betcha.
Okay, cool. How long you been working for them?
You know what? I just did the one season. My wife was up there cooking, so we thought we would just kind of. It was right after our wedding, so we bombed up there and did a season for them, and then that was it. But before that, I guided all over the place, man. I grew up in the Northwest Territories working for the Lancasters, and then I've just worked for tons of people now, all over the place.
God, good for you. Where are you working at now?
Now we bought our own guiding territory, so it's called Peasley Hunts, and it's conducted kind of in central BC and Williams Lake, and that's we do a lot of hound dog stuff for black bear and cats, cougar, lynx, bobcat, and then we got some meat moose stuff, a little bit of mule deer, but then outside of that even is I kind of do some freelance stuff, lease and tag. So we're into like Shiras moose with archery and mountain goat. We got sheep tags, bighorn tags. We kind of whatever we can get our hands on.
Oh, crazy. You've built quite a business then. Congratulations on the property. I know that's tough to transition from a guide to an outfitter. So yeah, congratulations on the territory.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. How cool. Goats and then sheep. So you've got some tags for those as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
So some openings for this year too still left. So try to get those sold up before fall, and I'll be a happy man.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we'll mention it on the podcast. I think we'll just kind of get rolling. I love like authenticity and these natural conversations, and it seems like always these introductions, like these first 10 or 15 minutes, we have like a good engaging conversation, and then we have to start again. So I think I'll just keep this things rolling just because it's great information about your outfitting territory, a couple open spots. Well, that opens the door for a ton of adventure for you.
Yeah, you know what? It totally does. And everything's in BC as well, right? So I don't got to go changing provinces or into the States or changing countries. And yeah. And actually, that being said, I do deal a lot with, I sell ibex hunts in Kyrgyzstan and then even desert hunts for Sonora and stuff. So man, we're into a whole bunch of stuff.
Man, I'd say, yeah, good for you. So you get to the Sonora and soak in some sunshine, huh?
Yeah, well, to be truthful, I haven't actually got that far yet. I've sent a few guys down with some friends of mine down there, but hoping the next trip that I get to go, I'm due for a coos deer, they tell me, so because I've sent them enough hunters.
Oh, good for you, man! Those coos deer are an absolute riot. I've been down like the last 4 or 5 years hunting those things down in the like in Arizona. They'll give you an over-the-counter archery tag to hunt nearly the entire state.
Really?
And man, it's become one of the funnest hunts I do. I leave Montana here, and it's like 20 below here, and I go down there in the sunshine where it's 60, 70 degrees down there, and then just immerse myself in that desert habitat. And those coos are really switched on and tough to arrow, but a lot of the fun is in the challenge or in doing something that's difficult. But man, it's a ride down there. You'd really like it.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I actually was just down in Sonora at the Scottsdale International Sportsman Expo, and one of the guys that we're kind of trying to work something out in the future here just to kind of seal up a consumer market, but he sells a bunch of them too, and he was egging me to get down there. One day, it's all coming. I just got to get a house built and pay a guiding territory off and get my daughter old enough to go to the house.
Well, you're getting there slowly but surely. You're going in the right direction.
Yeah.
I know there isn't enough time in the world to do everything, is there? And you really gotta enjoy what's right around you. That's what's so cool about like your outfitting business being in BC. It'd be such a pain to change provinces and try to learn a different area where at least it's close and around you, where you can travel and get there and scout and hunt and things.
Yeah, I mean, totally. So like our Williams Lake area, my brother lives inside the guiding territory. They have a 160-acre little ranch and a house and stuff. So we use actually their place for our wintertime stuff. Just because, it's winter. You got showers and warm bed and warm meal and a warm house to come back to. So, and it's right in the guiding territory. So that works out awesome. And then for the springtime stuff and all the rest of it, he's there to scout it out. Like he's there right now. They're already chasing black bears with the hound dogs. They're already running them.
Oh, you're kidding. They're already coming out, huh?
Already out, and they're got her rolling, yep. So I wish I actually lived there, but I don't. I live in that Jaffrey, BC country, right? I just moved to Cranbrook is where we're living now, actually, but That's why I got like that Shiras moose, that archery Shiras moose deal over here, and the mountain goats. It's a 2.5 hour drive away, and the bighorn's about an hour drive away. So it's all we're pretty spread out. We cover a big chunk of BC between the two of us, and being brothers, makes it nice.
Yeah, that is nice. That Shiras archery tag, that'll be a fun one, huh?
You know what? It's a gas. It totally is. And even for guys that aren't totally, crazy about archery hunting, crossbow's legal in BC.
Okay.
So the last guy that I had, he came 2 years in a row. Man, he had so much fun. Ken Stafford was his name. He had so much fun. He came twice, and we bagged 2 like beauty bulls with a crossbow. So.
Man, how cool! How big did those Shiras get up there?
Oh, dude, they're big. The first one scored 163. It was 46 inches wide, so it had just massive paddles and like 10 or 11 points a side. And the one just last year was 52 inches wide, a little narrower paddle, but again, like 8 to 11 points a side, double brows out the bottom, like big Shiras bulls. It scored 167.
Man, yeah, you guys do have some big ones.
Yeah, they got it on a limited entry system up here, so. And in this particular place we're hunting, they only give out I think it's 7 or 8 tags, and it's a pretty gigantic area, like well over 1,000 square miles kind of thing.
Yeah, it's tough to get a Shiras tag. I've been putting in my entire life here in Montana. We got some good hunting in areas. I got pretty aggressive with my applications this year and put in for an area that's got pretty good odds. So I'm hoping I can draw it. But our Shiras sure took a hit from the introduction of the wolves in Yellowstone here. I don't think our moose were used to escaping wolves, and with the deep snow, those moose would just get in that deep snow, and those wolves could run up on top. And man, they just put a hurting on our moose. And since we've been able to hunt wolves here and kind of control their populations a little bit better, it's gotten better, and I've been seeing more. So I think they're recovering, but they sure took a big hit, like in 2008 or so.
Yeah, that's pretty sad, and they did that, man. And something that's an issue we're kind of running into here. We've got a lot of anti-hunting organizations and the Wildlife Defense League and all these different groups, and they're trying to put a hurting on our ability to manage predators. Like they're going after our cougar, lynx, and bobcat right now. They've already shut the grizzly bear hunting down, just through working their puppetry into the government. And now they'd like to go after it all. And the unfortunate thing is what they don't understand is they're not just gonna go after this one thing and that's it, right? They want to go after the whole hunting thing in general. But what they don't understand as anti-hunters is that if you take away the ability to manage your predators, that's destruction for everything. Ungulates do not stand a chance.
Oh, absolutely, man. Gosh, I totally forgot about that. So yeah, you guys had the grizzly bear law passed where they changed all the regulations on you where you can't keep the hide, can't keep the meat, and a bunch of different things. Man, that is just horrible. They passed that, and then I just saw that the other day. Like you say, they're going after use of dogs and what'd you say, lynx, bobcat, and cougar?
Yeah, you betcha.
Man, that is horrible. Like, where's the biology and the science? I mean, you can look at places where they have shut that down, and like the United States, they manage each state differently. But you look at California, where they've shut down all mountain lion hunts, and the state has to actually go in and hire a government trapper, pay way more money to kill these cougars, and nothing is used, from them. And they're getting in these developments and these subdivisions and killing people's dogs and cats, and then they start to attack hikers. Like it's just a bad road to go down. I can't believe they're trying to get that passed. Do you think it's like a lot of people that don't have to deal with grizzly bears or don't deal with dogs, like a lot of people that live in those cities are voting for us?
Some of them are voting for us, but the majority don't.
Well, that's what I mean is, I'm sorry, I said that backwards, but yeah, the ones in the cities are the ones voting against all these or bringing in all these initiatives and voting against the people that actually live out there and make their living from the wildlife populations. And
there lies the issue. Why is science being voted on from, on an ignorant level? Why are the less informed have the ability to control scientific-based decisions? That's like me having a vote in NASA. We should be allowed to use this much fuel. Just use her. 40, 50 gallons, that'll get you to the moon. Like, that's crazy.
That's so crazy. That's a great analogy, Logan.
I mean, come on. There's a reason that, the damage that they will do to the ecosystem far surpasses what we could even dream of doing as hunters. And as hunters, if anything, we just keep the balance. It doesn't get worse. It doesn't get better, but we maintain a balance. But I mean, you let them get away with this, I don't know. I mean, more as an outfitter even, I'd be more concerned about just the balance of our ecosystem over my livelihood or my business or whatever. I mean,
absolutely.
There's been other industries in this world that have collapsed and people had to rebound back from and find, whatever it took to live. But it's our ecosystem. That's pretty important.
Dude, the most important. You're so right. It's just like they're messing with the ecosystem and don't know what the repercussions are going to be, but they're not going to be able to go out and see any animals, much less see a grizzly bear. All the grizzly bears are going to die off because they have no food. You're not going to be able to see the ungulates. You're going to destroy the landscape, or not destroy the landscape, but the ecosystem, like you say.
Yeah. I mean, the devastating effects are. I don't even like talking about it.
No, man, it sure is a bummer. What can we as hunters do to help out guys in BC and to help our hunting community?
You know what? Talk to your organizations. I mean, got to get groups like SCI involved. Wild Sheep Foundations. I mean, think about that. If we get a out of control predator spree going on up here, a lot of our sheep were transplanted in different portions throughout the states, right, to help their populations out. We're at a time right now where we could use the help. We need some bigger voices. Like there's people funding this wildlife defense league, like Amazon and Patagonia and some pretty big companies. That's, money talks, unfortunately. And if a guy could get organizations funding our organizations up here to fight this, that's the main thing, man. And support in numbers. You look on Facebook, squeaky wheel gets the grease today. Look at that poor guy in Africa shooting that bloody lion, how much they just destroyed his life, and over nothing. If there was a big enough squawk against this Wildlife Defense League and those organizations, I wish we could just bring the science into it and prove to the neutral people that don't really get it how important it is. We would stand a way better chance. But money and education, man, that's what's going to solve it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sticking together. You definitely need money to fight money. And just sticking up for the cause too. If there's any initiatives that we can ever sign or anything that we could send to we have congressmen or representatives of the House, and that's how we do things here in the States. But they bring up a funky bill here, and instantly you see the support of hunters jump on. So yeah, God, if we could just do that in BC to help the cause up there, because you're right, they're going to continue to move the goal line until they shut it all down, until they ruin everything.
Well, I mean, you can see the devastating facts from it. If they shut predator hunting down and leave the ungulates open, and now you've got a flourishing predator population plus a human hunt. We're hunting them. Then you got your trains, your cars, and all your other methods of mortality. At what point is there just going to be no ungulates left, and you got to shut it down? It's that simple.
Man, we get some of that same stuff here in the States, but our grizzly bears are ridiculous, and they were on the endangered species list for years. But these companies and corporations put a lot of money behind keeping them on the endangered list, because when they're on the endangered list, they're managed by the feds. But it's so backwards. Our state, we hire these biologists and we pay them from our taxpayer dollars, and we pay them to manage our ungulates, our predators. And so, now they have total control over the wolves, moose, sheep, goat, deer, elk. They get to manage our whole ecosystem, but grizzly bears are off limits. They just get to be out there, and the human grizzly bear conflict is ridiculous now in Montana, Idaho, Wyoming. I mean, every year there's multiple people attacked and killed, and even in my home valley here, I got to worry about taking my wife and my kids on a camping trip to the woods, because there's just so many of them. They don't have any fear of humans, and there's no control of the population, and furthermore, they're devastating, our elk populations by eating the calves in the spring unchecked. So they're really hurting populations around, and managed by the feds, and it's just like you say, it's just money. We just need to. So right now we're in the process of getting it transitioned into state management, so the state can manage them like they manage everything else.
Yeah, which by that you're meaning being able to open up, giving out some tags.
Yep.
And actually properly manage these predators.
Yeah, by biologists that study it and study the numbers, and they can look at them and see what's a sustainable harvest for them, where the species can really thrive and not overpopulate, where then they eat all their food and then starve to death, or human bear conflict, or just to keep a healthy ecosystem all the way around, a healthy elk and moose fawns and the whole deal. And I'm sure you guys are going to deal with the repercussions of shutting that grizzly bear hunting down in BC for the next 10, 20, 30 years.
You know what, and a good point. I don't know the actual numbers on it. I wish I did right now, but I would like to see how many problem bears are euthanized here in the province of British Columbia versus how many we used to harvest legally. Same as Montana. What are your conservation officers? How many are they putting down in a year through this human conflict that you're talking about versus if they were to give out 10 tags and put a little respect into these bears and thin some numbers.
Yeah, well, and then they generate revenue from it, and then that revenue can go into managing the bears and their habitat. It only makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, totally. That money then goes back into elk habitat, which is bear food, which is, I just can't believe people don't see how the good in it works. But you know what? It's part of that education thing, man. The more we can push it, just the better we would be.
Right? Common sense isn't common.
It's not common, no.
No. Well, and too. Oh gosh, I had a good point I was gonna make. I lost my train of thought there. But yeah, they just have to be managed like everything else. So. It just makes for the healthiest ecosystem, and like you say, through education, you're right, like through educating people and bringing awareness to it. Like I just heard about like trying to shut down the cougar bobcat lynx the other day, and I saw a link on somebody's Instagram where I could go sign a petition on there, and went and signed it. It was Nick, a guy from, I think, BC up there, but, just bringing awareness to it, and then as hunters, too, portraying us in the right light as well. Like, because a lot of these people that are voting are non-hunters, and so if we can represent ourselves well, and it's getting more popular, there's good personalities out there, and representing it as, providing food for your family and meat for your family that's clean and organic and doesn't have any additives to it. So like if we can just keep representing it in the right light through social media, I think that all helps in the perception of hunting as well.
Totally. Our image definitely is misunderstood, and when the sad thing is you get one bad apple, right, and it makes the whole tree look bad. And you do see it on social media once in a while. I'd be scanning through there, and I've seen the odd picture, and I just thought, come on, guys. So there's another education factor, People are going to be posting stuff on social media. Do a good, clean, professional job. Nobody wants to hire a scrubby, rubby-dub looking freak, right? Like, clean it up. Make it nice. Make it presentable.
Yeah, you're not just representing yourself. You're representing all of us.
Our community. Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, dude, that really hurts with not being able to run predators, because it sounds like a big part of your business is dogs. Those dogs, they make for an adventure, don't they, when you let those dogs loose?
I'm here to tell you that if it was allowed, I would hunt just about anything with dogs. It's the funnest thing I think you could ever do. It's the fun factor, but it's not easy. Like, we don't just take these dogs and bloop and things are just caught, right? you got to work, and you actually got to know your dog. You can't just go take someone's dog. And if I were to lend my dogs to just anybody, their success rate would not even touch what ours is. We know what that dog's saying. We know its bark. We know his strengths and his weaknesses. Combined with our own, you become a partner with these animals, right? And that together is what makes it awesome. So the hunt is definitely super fun for the houndsman, without a doubt. But for the non-houndsman, I mean, when you go with the guy that comes with us, and right away that chase is conducted. I mean, it depends what species you're hunting, but like the cats, for example, the involvement in it's crazy. So for a tom cougar, we're looking for the right size track, and we know what they look like. Lynx and bobcat are a little bit different, but we're looking for, once you get on a track with that dog, the involvement that you got with them in that hunt, it's not like, oh, let it go, oh, goes, there's a tree, done, da-da-da, that was easy. And we're talking hours and hours and hours of just hard, enduring work that, like, you're working with this animal, So for the hunter, they're jacked about it, man. They're into it, and they're asking you questions. Well, what's this track? How can you tell? What's that doing? Well, it's a tom. Look at the size of its foot. And as you're walking through the trees, you can see where it's scraped under the tree, and then you can tell. Oh, it sounds like they got it jumped by the sound of the dogs, and it's busy. It's a lot of fun, man.
Wow. They used to call the snow reading story, and you houndsmen are so good at reading the snow and the track and the size. It just comes from years of experience, like anything, the more you do and the more you pay attention, the better you get. But I bet that's fun. And like you say, hours of grueling work. Like, you let those dogs go, you don't know what you're in for. You could be in for an all night through deep snow, or, maybe he trees him quick. Maybe he gets confused and chases another cat. Like, it's different every time. And anytime you turn them loose, you're signing up for an adventure.
Oh, it is, without a doubt. And I mean, that's on the cougar end of things. Now, the lynx, that's entirely different. Again, it's like hunting two different animals. You find the track the same way, but once that track's found, I mean, you can get some lynx that, popped up in an hour. But then we've had some go all day, and then we've had some you don't catch them. And you'll get a visual of that bloody thing 6-7 times throughout the day. They're just trotting around, toying with you, just playing with you. And that they'll confuse them dogs in a figure-8 circle. And, I've actually seen where lynx have killed rabbits while you're chasing them and had a snack. And then they continue to just keep it. Just, talk about frustrating. Yeah. Pull your hair out. But, I mean, you just keep, persistency pays off, and you get the job done. But it's fun.
Man, that's like all hunting, isn't it? Persistence is deadly. Like, the best attribute you can have is to keep after it. Because, like, I'm not the best shot, I'm not the best hunter, but I am persistent. I just keep going, keep putting myself out there, keep trying to create an opportunity, and it seems to just pay off more times than not. And it's the way it is in a lot in life, but definitely in hunting, like dogs or bow hunting or rifling, whatever it is. Persistence is deadly.
Oh man, it's you got to have a relentless attitude, or you're not going to be that successful.
Right? Well, yeah, you've had quite the opportunity to hunt around Northwest Territories, working for these different guides, and now having your own outfitter business. You got to be looking forward to the fall and some of the adventures you're going to go on with guys like the goat and the sheep. Those have to be some fun hunts for you.
Oh man, I look forward to all of it. That's one thing, as a guide, you get asked quite a bit, what's your favorite animal to hunt? And I don't yet have an answer.
Good for you.
I haven't got it. I just like getting out there, man. Everything's just so different. Like them mountain goats, you're looking at some steep, rugged terrain, and it's a lot of glassing, and you're hiking, and it's maybe not as fast action as like a hound dog hunt, for example, but you're just out there in the elements, just you and nature, and looking for a bunch of goats, man. Getting into way higher country. You can get in a lot of trouble too if you're not careful, right? So you got to be paying attention, and you're getting out there backpacking and living off freeze-dried meals and staying out in a little thin-walled, Hillyberg or a Kuyu tent or something. It's fun. It's just a whole different aspect to it.
That backpacking, the backcountry, and especially in that alpine environment, it seems like the purest form of hunting you can do.
It is you and nature. It's you versus nature. So you want to call that pure? I'll agree with it.
Yeah, well, and hunting those goats, I've had the opportunity to hunt goats one time, but I love like hunting the alpine. But I'm like you, like hunting each different species in each different habitat. It is special in its own right, and it takes this own set of skills to be able to be successful or to be able to create an opportunity. But that alpine and those goats, they're on a class of their own. Like when you're trying to live up in those high mountains, and those goats can be frustrating. Like I drew a tag, I had the opportunity one time to hunt them here, and then my dad drew a tag, so I had the opportunity to go hunt with him the following year. He drew a tag, and remember I hunted mine with my bow. But gosh, those billies, they just like the steepest, gnarliest rock faces, and they can just play on those things. Before I hunted a goat, I said, I can walk anywhere a goat can walk. I cannot. I know now that I am completely wrong. I am out of my mind. Like, you can't get to where they're at.
I've seen them go up through just some dirt stuff that, you know, you might see one of those guys in those squirrel suits go, maybe. That's about it. Not me. But, no, you're right. Those billies will hit. There's that patience and persistence thing, though. If you find one, sit on him, wait it out. He will come out.
That's what I ended up doing. So I'd find him on the biggest rock faces, and it'd be 1,000 feet of vertical rock, and there was no way that I could make any play. But like you say, if you're patient, they seem to come out or feed on a grass slope or move around enough to where they give you an opportunity.
Oh yeah, they're animals, man. They're just doing their thing up there, and if they see you, it's game over. They're gone. But if they don't know you're there and you're watching far enough away and you just be patient about it, they'll create an opportunity.
Man, yeah. So I leave on Friday to go to New Zealand to hunt Himalayan tahr and chamois up high in the Southern Alps there. Man, I'm so excited.
Oh, good for you, buddy. That would be an awesome trip.
Yeah, self-guided first trip over there. I have a couple buddies that have hunted it before, so yeah, I'm just along for the ride. I'm just along to take some pictures and take it all in and go see what it has to offer. But yeah, it'll be a ride. Like I say, I love that high country. Here in the States, we don't get much of a chance to hunt sheep or goats, but the high country mule deer, it's the fit for us, or it fills, you know, the gap or the void, because those things will live where sheep and goats do up in that alpine environment, and you get to chase them up there. So yeah, I love doing that every year.
That's awesome. So is mule deer down there for you guys? Is it general open season or is it still draw?
Yeah, so it depends on the state, and most places are draw, but we have enough of them to where you can end up with a tag or two, a pretty good tag or two for up in the high country every year.
Oh, awesome, man. Yeah, good.
Yeah, it's way cool. But yeah, I love covering that kind of country, and so that's what you did when you went with Guy and Ike. Didn't Guy, he shot a sheep on that hunt, right?
He got a sheep, yeah, and the cool thing about that is he got his ram, you know, it was within like a mile or a half mile of where his grandfather would have got his ram on the same mountain, man. It was crazy how it all went down. We spotted it from the cabin that his grandpa helped build back in the 70s, and then did, you know, probably somewhat the same hike, you know, I don't know exactly, but in the same direction, same mountain. We did our long stalk, got up there, and it was a full day affair, and it was pretty emotional. You could see it in those guys' face. You know, it was a big deal for them. That was, you know, an historical, taking a step back in time, walking in your grandfather's footsteps, especially with the hunting legacy like theirs, you know, like it was pretty neat. It's cool to be a part of.
It's really cool. Yeah, his dad, they just cut him loose back in the day. They wanted to see if it was even huntable up there, if there even had populations, but he was one of the first guys. They just cut loose up there and said, go with your buddies, shoot whatever you want, go for the whole summer. Did they tell you any parts of that story? Isn't that wild?
Oh yeah, they told me some of it. I was they would talk a little bit here and there, and then I watched the video, right? I watched that video from years ago. That's up there.
Yeah, it's a cool video. I guess the true story is that the old man could shoot, but the two buddies he brought up, they couldn't hit anything, you know, and so they missed all those rams. Like, I can't remember how many times they missed, but it was like 10 or 11 shots or something.
Yeah.
Well, making a shot in the field, it's easier said than done. I mean, it's easy, me and you sitting in our comfortable house right now, to say, oh yeah, I'll I'll make any shot they give me. But to sit down, and I'm sure being a guide and now being an outfitter, that's got to be one of your biggest issues, because even getting a guy in range, it's just not 100%. Buck fever's real.
Yeah, I think it's there is some modern technology in some cases that guys are getting into now that definitely can make it a little easier at times. But no, you got to get these guys, like, let's face it, when selling these hunts, the majority of the people that can afford to go on these trips are, retired or knocking on the doorstep of. So you got to get someone up the mountain that's 55, 65 years old up in that terrain. You got your work cut out for you, man.
Man, I'd say you got to earn every dollar. That's tough, and I bet you really have to monitor, not only their physical abilities but also mental capabilities too, of getting down or getting depressed. You probably got to be part motivator too. You
got to be Dr. Phil. You got to Dr. Phil him through a lot of stuff sometimes.
That's so funny.
Logan, I'm prepared to die. I'm okay with it. Just let me know if I'm going to. I'm not going to die.
Oh, that's hilarious. It's just the truth of it. Like backcountry hunting, it's tough and it's grueling and it's going to test you mentally and physically. And I'm sure on those mountain hunts like that, and then, like you say, you get some age on you too, and man, they're in for a tough go. And then, they've been working for this chance for their whole lifetime, and then to finally lay down on the sheep they really want. And like you say, technology definitely helps, but even at long distance, there's just so many variables there, that the elevation, what are they? I'm more of a bow guy than a rifle guy, but the spinning of the earth, the azimuth of the earth, like the elevation, the temperature, and then the wind just plays such a role. And what the wind's doing maybe right where you're at, but you don't know what it's doing from you to the animal a lot of times.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's like I say, it's you versus nature out there. That's part of the pristineness of it. It's yeah, go out there and create some luck. Make it yours. I don't know. Get after it. There's all kinds of different elements. It's just got to get it done.
Right, that's the truth. So you guys got some pretty good caribou in your unit in BC. I mean, in your hunting district.
No, not where I'm hunting at.
Okay.
But where like Ike shot his up there on that hunt as well. Guy shot that doll sheep, and then Ike ended up getting that nice bull caribou up there. But I've guided for a pile of caribou all over the place, with the Lancasters and Wop and Canal there, and yeah. So we don't actually do any, but we know where to go. We send guys to the right places.
Yeah, they're fun to hunt. I like hunting them up there in Alaska. I have for the last couple seasons. Yep. Made my way up there and hung out with a buddy up there and go chase them with a bow and arrow. They're a riot. But so you guys said you do have some mule deer in your unit, right?
Yeah, we do got some mule deer going on in there. There's some big bucks actually. It's pretty timbered country, so we're hunting heavy timber stuff. But there's actually some pretty decent deer in there.
Boy, I bet BC has the genetics. I think of like a big old Coke can mass, like heavy dark horn mule deer that live up there. Am I right?
We do got some good genetics. It's one of them species, unfortunately, due to predation and a little bit mismanaged. Actually, I wish it was on draw, and they did some things differently. Because is there big deer and the potential for it? Yes. I mean, you look at the record books from years ago, and there was a pile of record book mule deer come out of British Columbia. Less and less just because of mismanagement, though. It is in trouble. So we actually don't even there is pockets where we do still sell mule deer hunts. 150, 170 class bucks. When the rut hits, that's when the 180s and 190s start showing up. But it's not like it once was. There's no question.
Okay. And then so you guys, do you have elk in your unit?
No, not over there in Williams Lake. We don't do any of the elk stuff. Just we do it's an any bull hunt for moose is what we have over in our guiding territory. We sell to most of our customers come from that northwestern Pacific portion of the states.
Okay.
Montana over to Oregon and Washington and all that. We actually go to the Portland show, and we sold out for last fall and this fall all at one show. We sold 16 moose tags and like 5 black bear hunts all at one show. So it was awesome.
Oh, good for you guys.
Yeah, we got 3 left for 2020. And that we do 2-on-1s. That seems to be pretty popular. And it's guys coming up filling the freezer. They've made the term trophy hunting now a bad word to say, but this is a total freezer filler hunt. Guys are coming up, if they can harvest whatever bull they want, just getting out in the bush. We mostly retired guys come up and just have fun and hang out and go home with a freezer full of meat for the winter.
Man, how cool. And then your black bears, BC has some bears. Man, you guys got some giant pumpkin heads out there. Do they let you guys hunt them in the springtime? Do you run guided hunts in the spring?
Yes, we do, man. We do hound dog conducted hunts on the black bears, and it is without a doubt a gas. I'm telling you, it's I look forward to it like a little kid looks forward to Christmas. That's a high intensity, fast paced action hunt. And we do get some big bears, massive bears. The biggest bear that we got last year was 7'8".
Oh.
Yeah, right. With a 21 and 14/16 head on it. This thing was giant, man.
Oh my gosh,
I have never seen anything like it, and I've hunted black bears my whole life. It looked prehistoric, all right?
Oh, I can only imagine. That is an absolute giant. That's as big as they get. I love hunting black bears. I hunt them here in the spring in Montana and then a little bit in the fall. But yeah, a big bear for where we're at. Like, I'm always trying to break the 20-inch skull mark, and I've got like 3 in the 19s, and they're good bears for around here. And we also have a lot of color phase. But that bear, 7'8", 21, and then how many 16ths did you say? 14?
16, so it was almost 22. Like, it was just a prehistoric looking monster. Now, that being said, I would never sell a hunt based on that. Like, maybe we did get the biggest bear out there. I don't. But there's a lot of big bears. I mean, I'd still never sell a guy a 7-foot. Come with us and get a 7-foot bear. But we do sell. This is where you go to get the opportunity. Like, we got 6 bears last spring over 7 foot, 7'2", 7'4", that's 7'8", and then the amount of bears that we got in that, I mean, those 7-foot bears, they're all over 400 pounds. That 7'8" was a 500-pound plus bear, right? You could not move it. There was 7 grown men that we could not. But our average was like probably 6, 9, or 10. Huge bears. We only got 2 that made book. I mean, that's pretty friggin' impressive in my eyes. But the size of those bears, but you want to talk about like 19 and 7/16, 11/16, all kinds of stuff like that. I mean, we got a pile of them bears. They're just big. And so the numbers, you've never seen anything like it. There are so many bears up there. I'd take caution going out and picking berries, that's for sure.
Oh, how cool. Man, those are some giant bears, yeah. Like, they get over 6 foot, that's a big bear, but in that realm of what you're talking is a once-in-a-lifetime bear. Man, that is so cool. And a big population of them, too. That has to be a riot of a hunt for those guys and for you.
You know what, man? Especially throw that hound dog factor in there, and again, it's not a gimme. You've got to work hard. In fact, hunting with these dogs, your involvement in the actual hunt is so much more than what's, it's understood by people. It's when we get a strike, we don't just dump the dogs and chase everything, we get out. You walk around the truck, and we're looking for a big bear sign. Give me a big foot. You can tell in the springtime the size of the bear by the size of their crap. If you get a great big, Coke can sized turd, it's a big boar. Those big boars will go rub on trees and they bite them, so you can kind of tell how tall they are where their teeth are hitting. So if you find something that's beat up like that, okay, there's a big boar here. Then you start working it. Then you'll start kicking your dogs and doing that. But there's honestly, the most places that I've hunted bears with the dogs, to find something like that, you'll go days without running your dogs. Over there, we're chasing a big bear every single day. It was every day all spring. From May the 2nd right through till June 30th, we run every single day and we chase giant bears.
Man, that sounds like a riot. Do you get any color phase up there, or are they all jet black?
No, where we're at, we got about a 30% color phase. So what did we take? About 20 bears last year, 21 bears, and 5 or 6 or something like that. We're kind of chocolate brown, but there's blondes and everything in there. But 30%, I tell people.
Oh, how cool. What a great opportunity, and what a great hunt for the springtime to go hang out and then go chase those things around.
You know what, man? You're getting up, fairly early in the morning. Most guys, when they go hunt bears, they if you're going to go out spot and stalk, you kind of sleep in and you wake up at 7 and you go out by 8, 9 o'clock, whatever, and you nap in the afternoon. But when you're with the hound dogs, we're up early, we're out there, you want to beat the heat, so you almost wake up on the edge of dark. Load the dogs up, have a little breakfast, get out there, and you start getting strikes right away, man. We've never made the end of the driveway at our camp without striking bears. We might not run, you look for that sign, right? But you get out there, and by the time you get something rolling, we catch bears every morning and night, every single morning and night. Come back in the midday to have a nap. Usually the guys watch me and Charlie skin out another bear because that seems to be routine. That's my brother. We're in on it together, right? But no, typical day, wake up, go out, catch a bear, come back, skin a bear out at camp. Hunters sit around the fire and tell stories and have naps. Then we go out again in the evening and it's the same thing every day.
Man, it sounds like action.
It's a dream come true. It's honestly something I've always wanted. And last spring was our first spring doing it. And the first hunter we had there, we just had one guy off the start, and we got the first day of the season, we got his bear, and it was 6'11". And then third day of a 5-day hunt, we got another bear, and one climbed a tree. So a lot of them will just climb trees. And that's a lot more contained, a little slower. Everybody breathe. Okay, here we go. But some of them bears, they don't want to climb. They'll push it. They just get stubborn, and they'll stay on the ground. And it was you working with your dogs, and you listen to your dogs. You know what they're saying, by their bark, right? Okay, they're looking at that bear. It's a lot of pressure, and then you got to play. You don't just go running in there on these bay ups. That's what they're called, right? When you get these dogs got the bear on the ground, you don't just go running in there. You got to play your wind right. Like you're hunting them still. They'll just keep running, and then at some point they'll wear your dogs up. Like you lose a lot. You don't catch every one. You lose a lot.
Man, that's crazy. So I didn't realize that those big boars didn't all tree. So a lot of times they're baying up or holding their ground or fighting the dogs or taking off again. God, there's a lot to it.
I've never got a bear for myself out of a tree. Every one of them's been on the ground. It's recommended.
I bet it gets pretty exciting, pretty thrilling when they're on the ground. Like there's some real buck fever there too with the predator, especially as big of the bears that you guys are chasing.
One of the funnest things you'll ever do as a human being.
Oh, that is so cool.
That's
well, good.
A guarantee.
Yeah, guys got to look you up for that. That is so cool. And we've got to fight for your right to be able to continue to use dogs, keep our awareness out there of what's going on with you guys and your rules, and not let them pass another law under our nose like that grizzly bear law.
I know.
Yep. Well, hey, if any information comes up, make sure to let me know, and I'll post about it and let our audience know. If there's anything that we can do as sportsmen to help support you guys up there, just let me know.
You know what, man? I appreciate that. That's awesome, and then I'll actually take you up on that, because that's one of the things that I think we got to do is like we were talking about before, is we've got to come together, and every hunter does. Every single person that considers themselves a hunter out there or an outdoorsman has to come together on this, because this Wildlife Defense League and organizations like that, they're not like they're putting their attention on BC right now, but it was once already in Oregon. It was once already, like, it's worldwide, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's something that, hunters in general, and a problem that we got in BC is, like, we got our BC Wildlife Federation and our Guides Outfitter organizations and rod and gun clubs, and there's a lot of headbutting going on all the time. And it's like, boys, let's find a resolve here, because there is a bigger battle going on. And that's how that grizzly thing got us. There was too much conflict within, our own community.
Gosh, I see that too. Like you say, we all have to find the common ground and support each other. And even if, dogs isn't my deal, like we have to come together and support the guys where it is their deal, it is their enjoyment or their passion, because they're coming for us next. And if we don't stick together, they're gonna be able to separate us and pick us apart and pick us off.
That's what happens, man. That's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
And then that's when people get slippery and stupid mistakes happen, like guys posting bad stuff on social media. Hunters trying to bash each other. It doesn't help. It does not help.
No, we got to stick together. Well, Logan, it's been really fun getting to meet you and getting to know you. Maybe I'll check in with you after your spring season, and you'll have some good stories for me running these bears.
Buddy, I'll fill you up. Don't you worry.
All right. Well, man, I appreciate you taking the time. I know you're busy with that house and things, but I really enjoyed the conversation and getting to meet you. I'll pass on all my information to you, and let's keep in touch.
Hey, man, I appreciate it too, Brian. It's thanks for the opportunity, and yeah, hope this gets out there and hits home on some people.
I definitely will. So thanks again. We'll talk soon.
All right, dude. Appreciate it.
All right. That's the episode. Thanks again to Logan Peasley for being on the podcast. Just a great, authentic hunting conversation. This podcast is so fun to be able to sit down with guys in this long form communication and just dive into their world of hunting and things that they enjoy and the excitement of it. It's such a fun platform. I really enjoy it. So yeah, it was just a great episode with Logan. Make sure to check him out. Peasley Hunts is his outfitting business, and just a great human being, great guy. I want to thank Sig Sauer for sponsoring the podcast. Again, I'm really impressed by their binoculars. Love their rangefinders, and this new rangefinding binocular. Man, are these things cool. So I've been using them bear hunting out a bit. It's been pretty good. I think it's going to be a good year. I've just been hunting the early spots where the bears come out. They're just coming out of their dens and kind of wandering around the grass. So real rocky, rough, steep terrain. But yeah, I've had 9 sightings already. I've made 2 stalks. 1 stalk went really well. I was close. My buddy Dan watched for me, said we were in the same scope. I never saw the bear once I got close. I think maybe some of my wind drifted down to him, or maybe he just moved off, before I got to the spot. But close on him. I spotted him again, went for him again, went all the way down the mountain, got ready to cross the river. It's this huge raging river down at the bottom of this canyon, and went to blow up my raft. I could not get that thing blown up, and I was just struggling. I was sweat coming down my face, and I was just going for it, trying to get this thing blown up so I could kill this bear. It's just in the perfect spot, and I found a rip in my little rubber raft. So I'm going to have to make a step up to like some sort of pack raft. They make some really light ones out there. This little pool raft isn't cutting it. God, I'm going to die crossing this river. It was a raging river the first time I crossed it too. We got spring runoff, and it was bigger than it looked. From up above. Up above, it's like, oh, it doesn't look too bad in this calm spot. I got out there in the water, and I had to drift down about a mile before I made a stalk on this bear, and it was going for it. I pulled my raft out in 2 places and walked it around the rapids, but even the stuff I went through was about max for this little 1-person pool raft. So yeah, I'm gonna have to make a step up so I don't drown in that damn river. But yeah, it's been really fun hunting, a bunch of sightings. So yeah, I just got to keep after them here. I can't wait till these bears get on the grass. The grass is kind of late around here. It's not really growing real good yet, but it's supposed to get warmer next week and be wet, and so hopefully we get some good grass growth. And just keep after these things. I'm just gonna enjoy my time in the field, and if I get a chance at a great big boar, super. If not, no big deal. I want to hunt with buddies. I just want to enjoy the entire season and make sure I'm taking care of all my responsibilities and things of that nature. But yeah, it's going to be a fun season. I'm so fortunate. I always talk about like enjoying what's around you, and traveling like to New Zealand. It was an absolutely wild trip. I'm just so lucky as this average blue collar hunter that I can go on some sort of trip like that. But I love what's around me, and I love the shed hunting here in the spring, and then the bear hunting and walking around with my bow. I love the spring fishing too. I haven't been doing enough fishing. I have got to get down to that river. In fact, maybe today, get my stuff done here, and we got some jobs rolling. Gosh, it'd be nice to sneak out for a couple hours before that evening podcast tonight. Afternoon, evening podcast I got to record tonight. So, yeah, maybe I'll get out today and catch a few trout. It'd be fun. But, yeah, it's all about enjoying what's around you, too. You know, it's the most inexpensive things we can do. And whether, you know, you got turkeys around you, mountains to hike, you know, bears or western game or whitetails, doe hunting, shed hunting for a whitetail, you know, whatever it is, it's just getting outdoors and it's getting out and enjoying yourself. It's finding like-minded people that you can get out and laugh with and have a good time with and sharing their success. And it's just, this life is such a gift. And for us guys to find what we really love in life, which is bow hunting or the outdoors or whatever it is, man, that's a freaking blessing. Everybody's searching for the key to life, and I think it's to try to enjoy it all along the way. So, all right, I'm rambling here. This is not a solo podcast. I'm just doing the ending for this podcast with Logan. But gosh, I get on mic and I get talking, and it's just like this any thought I have in my head just kind of comes out to you guys. So that's the stuff I'm just always thinking about. But yeah, great episode with Logan. Yeah, also make sure to check us out at Eastmans. Try to catch that Nevada hunt on the Outdoor Channel. I think it's going to be the best one I've ever put out. I looked at all the footage, but I haven't seen how they put it together. So I'm going to send my video gal a message today, see if I can get a copy of it so I can watch it. And yeah. If you're not a subscriber to Eastman's, remember you can text Elevated 319 to 22828. Get a subscription to the Eastman's Hunting Journal and the Eastman's Bow Hunting Journal. And also get a copy of that MRS book of all the compiled information from 2018. Check that out. And gosh, what do we got coming up? I did a podcast with Guy the other day. Guy is just so knowledgeable, and we got him fired up. I actually did it with Guy and Aaron Snyder of the Cafaro cast. So, yeah, it was a great recording, the three of us, talking about this dang wolf deal in Colorado. They're getting it on the ballot to vote for it to introduce wolves. They want to do like 1,000 wolves in Colorado, just decimate the state. It's just horrible. So we all need to be informed on this issue and try to speak up where we can and go to meetings and make sure this doesn't get passed. This will ruin Colorado, and you know, we've seen it in Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming, and different herds have fared differently depending on, you know, cattle and how deep the snow is and the terrain and things. But I mean, it's just wreaked havoc on all of our game populations. And so the three of us kind of break it down and get fired up and talk about it. It's a great recording. So we'll be releasing that to you guys soon. And yeah, I think that's all I got. Yeah, better end this recording so I can go try to catch a brown trout and get another podcast recorded tonight and keep this thing rolling. Thanks as always, guys, for all the support. Thanks for the support on the Instagram, the IG stories, the posts. You guys, there's so much positivity there. It outweighs the negative. It really outweighs the negative, which is really nice. Is just we got to stick together as hunters and support each other, and I just really enjoy the support on that, the support on the podcast. It's overwhelming at times. So thanks, you guys. I really appreciate it. And with that, I will check in with you next week.